Hey, it's Don, the Auction Professor. Today I just wanted to talk a little bit about COPPA, however you want to pronounce it. That's the new ruling that's going to be affecting YouTube on January 1st, which could affect anybody who has items that would relate or talks about items or shows items or anything related to something a child might look at who's under the age of 13. It's something that's serious. They're going to levy fines against everybody. This all started from a channel that has a child that reviews toys, if I looked into this correctly, and it turned into a fine for YouTube of $170 million, which is the largest the FTC has ever done. And from there, it's pretty much ballooned into going after everybody who possibly could put such content up. This probably is something that could affect a ton of people. Channels that I actually talk to and do toy-related things have had some of their videos flagged through the initial testing of this. So it's just random stuff that could be flagged. It could be just because of a wording used in a title. It could be a thumbnail that gets it flagged. It's something that's serious. I do talk about a lot of toys and things like that, collectibles, comic books, movies, movie posters, things that are tied to modern pop culture, things that might be considered cool to some people, and that's another term that the FTC used to distinguish video. So going forward, it might be wise for some channels, including maybe even me, not to talk about toys on here. Maybe move it to Patreon. I don't know yet how this is going to weigh out. YouTube also has some new guides and things coming out in the last letter from the CEO that they post every quarter, I believe. They were talking about more monetization for more adult-oriented content. I don't know what they're doing with the juvenile content, because there is a YouTube for kids, basically, for 13 and under. It's hard to say what they're going to do with that, but I don't want to get penalized for something stupid. The fine is $42,000 per video, which is huge. I did post some information of this in my Facebook group, if anybody's interested in looking. I did sign some of the petitions and actually put a complaint into the FTC from their main page. There are links everywhere. Just type in COPPA. It should be readily available to find. It's already affected channels that I watch. They're pulling videos right this very moment. Some are going to close down, they say, if there's the risk of them getting dinged with a $42,000 fine just for putting up content. A lot of people that I know, including me, my wife, and such forth, are adults who still do collect some toys and things like that. Toys from our childhood, toys in general that are neat, that are tied to a movie or a TV show or something like that. More and more of that type of stuff is marketed to adults, and I sell it all the time because it sells extremely well. Now, there's obviously nothing wrong with me selling it or anything like that, but how the FTC takes it is going to be the issue. Even if YouTube says it's okay what I'm doing, it's not up to YouTube, it's up to the FTC. And they said they've got tools and techniques that they can go and scan through every single channel on YouTube in a relatively quick time and then just levy all these fines out if that's what their plans are. And that's literally what they've said in video. I've seen it myself. So this could be worse than the ad apocalypse that happened a few years back. This could take down a lot of channels and limit family-oriented content. If basically you label your video for kids, it means you're not going to be able to have it like shared, no comments. It's not going to have like links to other stuff, so it's just going to be like a dead video, like an orphan stepchild almost, sitting out there, because it's not going to have any of that. Revenue-wise, would be like a tenth of what any other video might get. And obviously, it takes a lot of time to put videos together, even this one here. And if you're not going to make any money off of something, at least to levy your time into the video, it's not worth a lot of people doing it. I could see it affecting a lot of people where they don't want to do videos anymore or reduce the videos that they do because of this. I couldn't afford to take a couple hits at $42,000. Now, again, I'm small. It may not even ever get to us, but the point is they've already said they were. So I will limit some content, I guess, at this point, just in general. Certain things I only talk about in Patreon as it is now, but you know, it's hard to say. You got to be safe. You got to protect what you do. I am on Patreon. We do have our own site coming up sometime in the near future from how I see this, there's no real way to stop a child from looking at anything, really, in this day and age. I mean, it doesn't matter where it's on YouTube or anywhere. If somebody wants to find something, it's out there to look at. So, you know, it's just kind of hard to dictate. Our channel here is pretty family-oriented, I would say, at least in language and in the conversation that we have here. I don't push any political or anything like that views. I don't, you know, do any other thing that's out of the ordinary, I would say. So, you know, this is me, and, you know, I don't know how that would be perceived by the content on some of the videos that we or other people put up. So I did do the preliminary flag test with YouTube, and I did pass all my videos with that. And I did one from, I think TubeBuddy had one that I checked out as well too. But again, you know, there's potential in anything that you do, depending on the topic. You know, so that's just what I'll be looking at going forward. If you don't know about it, again, as I said, look it up. COPPA. The FTC had a big ruling. Just type in YouTube and COPPA, and you're going to find article after article, and you can dig into it yourself. Now, every channel is legally required to state whether they are for children or not. Obviously, my channel I would deem not for children, but it's not geared towards children, I should say. The point is, anybody can watch the channels that are out here. There's no difference, even though, again, YouTube does have its own child version of the site. So it's hard to say how they'll judge this. It is going to affect people's money. It's going to affect how many videos they put out in child content. You know, they are looking for revenue. I can't see YouTube intentionally wanting to do this because it would hurt their revenue, however you look at it. If they lose, you know, a tenth, a 20th, or a fifth of all the video content in a certain category, that's a huge dip for them. So originally, I would say it's YouTube's fault for this happening in the first place. And it all goes down to, you can't track content of a child who's under a certain age, and the only way they push video advertising to people is through the content you watch. They track that, if you didn't know. That's how YouTube works. That's how I get monetization on this channel. That's how anybody gets monetization. They track the users. You would be the users, I am a user, our videos that we view, and that's why they recommend certain videos based on what you watch. You know, so, and that's, again, how they gear advertisement to you, and they can gear it towards you very specifically. But if they can't use that content, the advertisement isn't going to be very useful to folks, so that's why your revenue would be down if you're a child-oriented channel. Not something that should be wrong to have a child-oriented channel, but you can't advertise certain things towards those channels. And if you just talk about action figures or opening a toy or painting a model or making miniatures or anything like that, plushes even, that's all geared towards a child, and that could be considered something that you are actually talking to a child. Even if you know there's no way on earth a child could make this or would even attempt to make it, that's not the point. The point is that a child may watch it and not even think about making it. Whether you're a wholesome channel and you don't cuss or you don't, you know, talk about certain topics or anything, it doesn't matter to the FTC. You know, they clamp down on stuff. It never reverts to how it was before. So this could be worse than the apocalypse, the video apocalypse with ads a few years back, but we'll play it out and see what happens. There's not a whole lot we can do other than do the petitions, which I did for both sites. So anyway, that's about it for today. It's just a touch on this. It'll steer a majority of the entire platform, all of YouTube, into a certain direction, and you won't see certain types of content for that reason, or at least it will be limited to a very small amount. This could be the same thing for video game channels, because that could be considered content for kids. How they figure that, if it's for adults only, I don't know, but that's about it for today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified if I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell a friend.